Okay, now another discussion about fate and how it applies to Divine Blood, and some of the reasons why I took it. Fate as compared to the main reason I picked Fate as compared to other generic systems, the strands of Fate as compared to other generic systems, is the aspect system. Other systems, you have a whole laundry list of bonuses and penalties and charts that say when it's dark you have -3 to see because it's so and such level of darkness, and in another case you have a -1 level to see because it's only a little bit dark, and or it's at long range so it's at -2 to hit or whatever. Um, and so you have to know where all the charts are. You have to know what all the bonuses and minuses are. Like this one, it only gives you a +2 in such and such a situation. This gives you a +2 to fight with this weapon, and this weapon here, it itself gives you a bonus to hit because it is a good weapon or it's a magic weapon or whatever. Um, it's not all that difficult, but it's cluttering, and you have to have remember it. The aspect system, everything's an aspect. You throw a grenade out, you declare an aspect of grenade and invoke it and say, oh, everybody looks at the grenade and scatters. That's what it, you can then do it as a mental attack or whatever, in combination with throwing the grenade out there. But anyway, back to get the aspects. Aspects each do one of three things. They give you a +2 to when you invoke them for your benefit. They do one of three things. They give you a +2 to your action. They give you a reroll to your action, and they give you a chance to invoke to alter the storyline as it is occurring. And when they are compelled against you, they do one of three things that are the same. Either a -2 to your roll, or a forced re-roll, or an effect happens in the story that is bad for you. And any circumstance that comes up can be described as an aspect. Injuries are aspects. The scenes, the house suddenly being on fire is an aspect. Um, there being no moon out at night, that's an aspect. It being night is an aspect. No moon is an aspect. No street lamps is an aspect, and that's three aspects related to no light. And if someone's trying to see, and you say yes, but there's no it's night, there's no moon, and there's no street lamps. You have a -6 to see. Oh no. Or for effect, let's see. An effect one. You have that's the grenade I threw out earlier. As an action, you pull the pin on a grenade and you throw it out. As a supplement, you declare an aspect of grenade! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation point. Um, and then you, as another supplement, you declare a mental attack on a unit of people, or you declare that everybody looks at that and freaks out, and your effect is the aspect grenade, and that's only going to last until the grenade explodes. But you can use it. Everybody looks at that and declare that on the scene, and all the NPCs will run away from it. And when the grenade actually explodes, you can tag it for extra damage. But it's as an effect. Or another thing for effect. Let's see. You can. Oh, I'll pull an example from a game I'm running right now. I'm running a World of Darkness-esque game where the characters are immortals of various types, one of 5 types: demon, vampire, magi, blessed, or shapeshifter. And we've already just started it. One of the characters is playing a bless, which is basically angel, demigod, that kind of thing. And just recently had her transformation, but she started with an aspect Fey Godmother. And I had already decided that the Fey included elements from all 5 of the types, plus outsiders from beyond the world. And I said, I'm going to compel your aspect of Fey Godmother, okay? And she said, okay, go ahead and go with it. They can choose whether or not, if they don't want me to compel it, they pay me an extra fate point. If they let me compel it, then they get an extra fate point. So, yeah. Anyway, she said, okay, go ahead and go with it. Okay, cool. And at the time, she was trying to convince people that she wasn't a witch, that this sudden power of golden light she developed was not a deal with the devil she had made. Problem being, her character is mute. And so I compelled the Fey Godmother and had her Fey Godmother show up to try to help convince them that, no, she's not a witch. She already refused that offer, because here's the thing, her Fey Godmother, in this case, is a demon. And I just said, I'm going to compel your Fey Godmother. She shows up. She showed up for 1 round, and then left in an offended snit. That was it. Now, I was like, well, that's not a big effect. All you did was make her waste a round, and then the next round after that, she completely blew them away in mental combat. Yes, but here's the thing. The fact that she's related to that demon is known to those 2 people. She didn't do anything about telling them to keep it a secret. One of them actually thinks it's proof of her divine nature to be that she is related to demons. So now, the story, her story being spread out through, her myth being spread out, is that she is related to this demon. Which means I can compel Fey Godmother over and over and over and over again to give her a minus in social or mental situations where she's trying to convince people of things. Or to give her a bad reputation when people realize, oh, it's her, it's the mute warrior woman. She's some sort of witch. And yes, given her nature, she'll convince them pretty quickly that, no, she's not. That's the way I designed the Blessed. But it requires her to deal with it over and over and over again because she let me compel it this once. So it is a big effect. And that's compel for effect. What the other thing about aspects is you can invoke them and compel them after the roll. And actually after you've seen after you've heard whether you succeeded or failed. Now, this allows you to buffer yourself against critical failure rolls that lead you to die or something. This does allow you to buff against that. But what it also does is, as some people have said, is it makes the game more about the story, and it makes the story revolve around the characters. Since the characters are providing the most consistent aspects, the stories will follow the aspects of the character, because those are the ones that are going to get invoked and compelled over and over and over and over again. So that a character who has an aspect, Mother of Monsters, will have, she's one of the demons, despite the fact that she is not intentionally, is not really evil. Having that Mother of Monsters things means that she will cause the creation of new creatures or new lines, new curses that last through the centuries. She will be the source of many myths as she changes people, because one of her powers is to give people power. She can change their shapes so that they have more abilities. And because of the Mother of Monsters aspect, and I can invoke that, and the fact that the power as divine design gives me the right to decide how half the powers are assigned. None of her transformations are going to be entirely normal and non-disturbing. There's always going to be something disturbing about them. And a lot of them are going to be inheritable. one or two people in every generation of that family from then on will have that disturbing curse or gift or whatever. And so that can come up later on. Anyway, another character has Angel of War. War was going to follow her. She'll be in peacetime, and if she hangs around too long, she will bring war. That's the mute blessed. If she hangs around a place too long, war will happen. So if she goes to a peaceful area, she will cause war to start springing up around her, because her purpose is to fight wars. And having aspects like that lets me direct the theme where it's going, and it keeps the theme to the characters, and it makes the characters relevant to the story. It makes the characters the central part rather than the world. The characters are building the world as they are moving along. Even if I have an idea of what the world looks like, once the character enters the area and brings their aspects in, they are reshaping the world around them. Another character has Teacher of Heroes. So where they go, people are going to spring up to be doing great things. That's just the way it is. They're going to be the person behind the people that the legend is about. They're going to be the Merlin or the Chiron or whoever who supports the hero who becomes the actual legend. And all the aspects, even the limited ones, are like this. As it goes along, those are the themes that the story hits on over and over and over again. So if you have an aspect, that aspect will be continually called in, and the story will follow the course of those aspects. Aspects can change, which causes the direction of the story to change. But and the way this brings this into Divine Blood is, again, Divine Blood is all about the journey of the characters. The world is being reshaped by them. And one of the things is, a world in Divine Blood is defined as how people perceive it. Like the first world in Divine Blood, and I'm running out of time here, so I'm probably going to summarize and then do another one next. The first world, the first world in Divine Blood is the world kind of like what we see it as in real life. No magic, no mutants, no people with powers, no non-humans. It's just blasé, normal stuff. Except for they do know about the giant robots because they're a common military vehicle now. Then you have the second world, which is essentially the first world but with magic. This is where you have the werewolves who are accountants but not and don't do anything but live a normal life, or the psychics, or the werewolves, or the vampires, or the fae, or whoever, or even the gods and demons that are nothing but clerks or florists or whatever. This is the second world, is the world of civilian magic. They're not these are the people that are not prepared for a fight, but they have some powers. They're not really all that more powerful than the normal civilians, but they have some powers. They're a little bit more prepared because they have a tendency to hide from the normals because afraid of witch hunts over the last few thousand years. After the second world, you have the guarded world or the walled world, which is where you have the people that know about the threats to society all around. And this is either magical people or non-magical people. These are the warriors. These are the ones that exist to protect the civilians. These are the ones that protect the second world and the first world. And it's called I call it the guarded world. And then you have, and I'm at 14 minutes there, so it's going to be stopped. Then you have the ragged world, which is where all the threats exist. And some people one character mentions, I don't know if it's actually in the novel or in one of the stories yet, but one of the characters mentions that what they do is they make the ragged world smaller. Eventually it'll pop up behind them where they're not watching. But all they can do is make the ragged world smaller and let the first world and the second world get bigger. And that's it. Anyway, I'm going to stop this and move on. The next segment for tonight is going to be about Divine Blood.